Good evening, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. I am Lou Mangello. It is Wednesday night at 7:30, which means it's time for WDW Radio Live. If you are watching live, thank you so very much for joining me, for spending and sharing your night together. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing, because you never know when and where I might be live from. It feels like a long time since I've been back in the office, because obviously it felt like a long time since I was back in Walt Disney World. First things first, thank you from the bottom of my heart to you for joining me over the past, I guess it's almost 2 weeks that I was fortunate to be able to get back into the parks and to the resorts and hit all 4 parks and get to share that with you live. I was overwhelmed by not just the number of people that watched, but for how long, and everybody who shared out, who commented, who had such nice things to say. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed being there virtually as much as I did. It was wonderful and hot and exhausting, and I wouldn't have traded any second of it for anything in the world. And the fact that we were able to spend that time together made it all the better. Just like tonight, Wednesdays would just be another night of the week if it wasn't for you being able to be here tonight. I got to put these on, man, because I can't see the comments from here. But welcome, Katie and Christine. Crystal Steers says she loves the Spider-Man back there. He is brand new, by the way, and I have to give huge thanks. This was something that was just sent to me this week. Jen, if you are watching, thank you so very much. Jen from Jen Sub, S-U-B, Jen Sub Designs. She's on Instagram. She made that for me. Just asked me for my address and sent it, and I just got it today. I just took it out of the box just a few minutes before we went live tonight. So Spider Mickey, she made that out of wood. Like, she hand cut it and hand painted it. He will, obviously, I will find a place of honor for him in my office, because it really does combine 2 out of my 3 loves: Spider-Man, Disney, if he was eating something, that would be sort of the holy trinity, the trifecta right there. Dave Rashoni from DJR Music. Love Dave Rashoni. If you dig not just the WDW Radio intro, but you dig some of the other songs that I've gotten a chance to play, check out Dave. He's got a couple of, I was going to call them albums just to show how old it was, but he's got a couple of CDs, and you can find some of his other music at djrmusic.com. Sydney Mode Steppen, Spidey always took over the office. He also took over my closet. He took over my garage, which is actually one of the big reasons why I've been selling so much on eBay, just because I've really just run out of space at this point. So I'm looking for the graphic. I can't seem to find it. But every Sunday, 9 o'clock, I have 10 new items from my personal collection up on eBay at wdwradio.com/eBay. There it is. Everything starts at just $1, and there is no reserve. So whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And please go and check out some of the items for Disney and Star Wars, and who knows what else is going to be there. So, Carrie, listen, I tried to trim down the office, as it were, even the books. Like, I've pulled a lot of books off the shelf and donating a lot. These are ones that I still need to keep and or want to read. If I could only just buy myself some time, that would be all I would need. So Sheldon says, hey, from Vancouver, British Columbia, which, by the way, Sheldon, is one of my favorite cities on the planet. My family and I just love it for so many reasons, especially before and after we get on a Disney cruise to Alaska, which, by the way, we have to do again at some point, hopefully relatively soon. Although our next cruise, nice segue, Mangello, is going to be on the Disney Magic Marvel Day at Sea. Listen, a bunch of you have been asking me, do I think it's going to happen? Yeah, I think this is going to happen January 23rd through the 28th. And let me tell you something. If you've never cruised, if you have cruised, this is the cruise to be on. You want to know why? Come closer. Because I don't think there's going to be a lot of people on that ship. We're going to have that ship to ourselves. You've heard me talk about not only what I've seen Disney do in the theme parks, but what I expect them to do on the cruise line. And huge web Spidey fingers crossed that we will be able to get back. Listen, this is a picture of me and Spidey from the last Marvel Day at Sea cruise. Okay, that might not be me, but that's probably what the proportions would look like if Spider-Man and I were to take a photo together. And I will tell you that nobody has more fun than us. And if you go to wdwradio.com/Marvel Cruise, or just go to mousefantravel.com, they will help you out in a free, no obligation quote, answer any questions that you might have. And I keep saying, as we're getting ready, and some of us have been back to the parks, I think you are hopefully getting to feel more comfortable, getting ready to visit the parks again. Go and visit Mouse Fan Travel. They will help you with any and all of your questions. Karen St. Pierre, don't apologize for being late. This is an open door kind of broadcast that we do here. So you're never late. You are right on time, just like Jeremy Goff, who does. Jeremy, I need to get a graphic from you so I can help you talk about Goff Stock, which I believe is every Friday. Jeremy just fires up the old guitar and takes requests, and he's got Disney songs, and he rearranges his own stuff. Really, really good stuff. Jim Rohosky, I know you cannot wait to get back to a park, brother. Listen, I will tell you that I've done some recon for you. The parks are better. They are more beautiful than ever before. So Kelsey said, have I ever done the Star Wars Day at Sea? Actually, we did I'm looking at the poster from our cruise. We did it in February 2016. That was our first Star Wars Day at Sea cruise. Really, really like that a lot. I think that from what I understand, I've actually done it twice. They have even improved some of the entertainment offerings on the Star Wars cruise since we went on one of the very early ones. And the food that they have, the unique food items, almost reason to go cruising for both Marvel and Star Wars. They theme all the restaurants during the Marvel and Star Wars Days at Sea. I know we've reviewed them. If someone wants to post in the comments exactly what shows we talked about those on, you can get an idea of exactly what to expect. Curtis says, my first live since the tours of the parks. Missed my Lou time. Curtis, I miss you as well, man. Somebody did the math and said that over 4 days I had done like 16 hours or so of live video from the parks. To anybody, whether you watched 1 minute or all 16 hours, thank you, thank you, thank you. Jenny Ginsburg, who I love and miss so much, as Star Wars Day at Sea Cruise was awesome. Jenny and her husband both had and made some amazing costumes for the cruise, which is all part of the fun. Not that I'll be wearing Spider-Man again on the, well, never mind. I have something planned for the Marvel Day at Sea Cruise when we go back. And it's funny, Derek, that you should ask. Hold on. Derek says, what's the first thing I should eat when arriving back in Magic Kingdom? I need to get top 5 live intro music, because that, my friend, is actually going to be the subject of tonight's top 5 live. If you saw in the promo, I said the title for tonight's show is Let's Get Down to Business. Look, who are we kidding? I've talked a lot about some of the things that I miss, what to expect, where I want to stay. It's time to let's get serious. Wait a minute. Let's get serious, because tonight, let's get right back into my wheelhouse. These are the top 5 things I've eaten since Walt Disney World reopened. This one was pretty easy, lots of fun to do, a lot of research. Thank you to some of my friends who've been with me over the past few days, helping to do some of the research. Now, let me be clear. This is not a comprehensive list. This is not my top 5 all-time foods in Walt Disney World. But getting back to the parks, we realize just how much we missed, right? We missed the cast members. God, the music, the smells, just the atmosphere of being there. Yeah, I missed the heat. I missed all those things. But let's be honest, I also missed the foods. And I tried best I could to hit as much as I could in a relatively short period of time. I broadcast for 16 hours. I think I gained about 16 pounds. Hashtag worth it. So these are my personal top 5-ish things I've eaten. And I'm going to tell you that I'm already regretting this list. As soon as I finished it, I'm like, that's wrong, but you're starting the show in 30 seconds because that's how quickly I need to put these things together. I know that there are things that I left off the list, and I will get to them in my probably many, many honorable mentions. But let's just get down into it. Let's get down to business. Here are my top 5 things that I've eaten. And of course, I want to know some of yours if you've been to the parks. Top 5 things I've eaten since Walt Disney World reopened. Listen, I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite places to get back to at Walt Disney World was Galaxy's Edge. I could not wait to get back, and I've actually had the chance to be there twice, so much so that I've eaten not just 1, but 2 of the Ronto wraps, because they're that good. I just think the Ronto wrap is just one of my favorite quick service items. And maybe it's the atmosphere, maybe it's being there, maybe it's this is not a picture of it, but they have this new iced tea with lemonade and blueberry in it that's just so good. I might have had 3 of those, and I have no qualms about, really, really good stuff. So number 5, the Ronto wrap in Galaxy's Edge, not once, but twice. Number 4, homecoming brunch. All of it. I won't not even bother trying to single out, because, look, the trick to going to Walt Disney World, yes, there's advantages to going solo. We've talked about that in the past, but there's also advantages to going with friends and family, not the least of which is making sure everybody gets something different so they can try theirs as well. I love the fact that my daughter doesn't necessarily eat everything in her plate, so much like earlier today when we go out, I order the thing I want, she orders the backup thing that I want, and I get to sort of participate in both. If you've never done homecoming brunch, whether you've been to homecoming or not before, I think, and I could do easy a top 5, somebody write this down, top 5 brunches in Walt Disney World. I'm going to tell you right now, homecoming is without a doubt going to be on that list. All right, so Ronto wrap is number 5, homecoming brunch is number 4. Katie Tollison, the homecoming hush puppies and the deviled eggs are like these little bite-size-ish, because I have a big mouth, so for me they're bite-size-ish, little bundles of savory joy. Like I put them in my mouth and I could literally feel my happiness quotient getting higher and higher. You almost can't have a bad day when you start off with homecoming brunch. So that's number 5. It's number 4. Number 3 on my list is the Wave. And the Wave cauliflower taco. This is a twofer because this is the way I did it. So I went to the Wave with friends one night after being in Magic Kingdom. And if you heard our live review of the Wave lunch, somebody looked that one up. It's got to be in the 500 somewhere. I did it with Jason Knapp with Here with the Magic, Lisa Glasser from the Castle Run, and Kenneth Johnson from IHaveNoWebsite.com. So impressed with the food there that when I went back for dinner, rather than ordering one of the main courses, this is the secret. And I'm going to give you, the secret is you get the cauliflower taco, which is almost like an appetizer portion, and you say, "Psst, come closer." You say that to the server. Not make it creepy. Stay within 6 feet. Come closer. Say, "Hey, I heard that you have a secret menu item." Thank you, Jason Knapp, episode 570. You have a secret menu item, and it's bao buns, which normally you can only get on the lounge menu. And he or she will say, "Yeah, what did you hear about that on W Radio?" It doesn't matter. Just get that. And that's so you're really getting 2 different, almost entree-size items for your dinner. It was so good. It was so good. How good was it? It was so good. I didn't even have time to take a good picture of it because I wanted to put that in my mouth so very quickly. So, again, you'd like Mangello, cauliflower tacos. Did you add extra meat? Did you ask for pork belly on? Oh, I wonder if they would have put pork belly on top of my cauliflower tacos. Look, I am not vegan, vegetarian, or any of. It doesn't matter because the flavor of the cauliflower tacos is that good that it carries that plate all by itself. So there you go. Ronto Wrap, anything on the homecoming brunch menu. And for me, the cauliflower tacos and the bao buns made for a really, really nice night with friends. Couple that with a little Moscow Mule. That's a good evening you got right there. Number 2, Satuli Canteen, and Satuli Canteen. Oh, how I love you and your chili garlic shrimp bowl with, on the side, you get the steamed pods. So what I like to do is I like to make my bowl with the noodle base, the chili garlic shrimp, and then you get the green onion sauce. I don't like putting on the creamy herb because sometimes the creaminess is a little overpowering. However, it does sometimes also cut some of the spiciness that the chili lime shrimp have. So you get a little bit of heat with the shrimp. You get the savory. You get the vinegar taste from sort of the oh my god, I can't, like the coleslaw like type salad. So good. And also you get a really, really nice sized portion at Satuli Canteen as well. And then what you do is you also get the cheeseburger buns on the side because they're called steam pods, but they're basically cheeseburger, like so good. You can actually order the steamed pods if you don't want 2. If you want 1, order the kids menu item, which I think is only $6 or $7. So you don't feel like you're ordering 2 entrees, but you technically kind of are. So there you go. There's 5 Ronto Wraps, the homecoming brunch. 3 is the Wave. 2 is Satuli Canteen. If you had to guess at what my number 1 item on the list would be, what do you think it is? It might just surprise you. I'm going to tell you, you're probably going to be shocked at what my number 1 is. Because you're like, wait a minute. Lou just did a top 5 things he's eaten at Walt Disney World since it reopened, and I haven't heard him mention the B word at all. Like, you would have expected the Boathouse to be on this list at least twice, right? So, obviously, the Boathouse has to be number 1. I have news for you. It's not. I know. Don't tell Chef Bob. because Boathouse is going to get a special mention. But number one on my list, not only is it not the Boathouse, but it's not from the Boathouse. What have you done with Lou? Who is this person? And is it why? And it's not Frothy Ramen. I will tell you, Frothy Ramen from the Taste of Food and Wine Festival, without a doubt, is my number one item that I ate at the festival, but did not make the list. That was my regret. I'm like, Mangello, how did you not put Frothy Ramen? Actually, I would put all of Japan, because the ramen and the tempura bowl, which was huge and quite filling, those two, you can actually, if you like, throw in a little bit of that strawberry nigori sake. It's a cloudy sake with a little bit of a hint of sweetness of strawberry in there. Really, like, that's a nice little afternoon snack right there. Or some people call it a meal. I call it a snack. That too, not number one on my list. I know. People are saying you must be an imposter, because like, there's no way Lou Mangello made this list if Boathouse not only wasn't on it, but was not number one. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the number one thing that I've eaten since Walt Disney World opened, God, I hope Chef Bob isn't here, or else I'm in serious trouble. But the number one thing I've eaten since Walt Disney World reopened, I had last night at dinner. And I've had this before, and when I had it, I said, this is one of the best examples of this type of food that I've had anywhere ever. And I'm going to give you a hint. My last name ends in a vowel. My mother, like my grandmother, my family, make a lot of really, really good Italian food. This is a body that was built on carbohydrates and pasta. However, I'm going to tell you that the number one thing that I've eaten since Walt Disney World reopened, I ate last night, and it is, without question, the rigatoni with braised chicken sugo at Topolino's Terrace. The Boathouse gets a special mention for everything on the menu, because I love it so very much. But I'm going to tell you, like, Topolino Terrace, not only do you have, that's a picture that I took on my phone, by the way, last night at dinner. Not only do you get that view, but, and I was so hungry last night. It was insane. I was so hungry that I didn't even order a lot for an appetizer. And I'm like, okay, Lou, like, is it really as good as you remembered? Like, that picture is not a good picture of it at all. So I ordered it. My daughter, who's a very picky eater, was like, no. Her little eyes lit up like it was Christmas morning. My wife tried some. She instantly looked down and regretted the incredible filet mignon that she had. And my son, who looked across at me, looked down at his also rigatoni and was like, that. Like, I heard Cats in the Cradle playing in my mind. Like, look, my son and I had a bonding moment right there. It is that good. If you don't believe me, you're just wrong. You're just wrong, because it really is that incredible of a meal. I think Topolino's Terrace very, very quickly established itself as one of the finer overall dining experiences at Walt Disney World. If only there was somebody who would go with me and do a live review there. I've been there for breakfast. I've been there for dinner twice. I have yet to be unimpressed by the quality, the quantity of the food. We just had a lovely, and again, if you time it just right, and you can go in there for sunset over the water, Skyliner in the background, it is just a beautiful, beautiful place to go. And they have a character meal in the morning where you get not one, not two, not three, but 4 out of the Fab 5 in costumes that you won't find anywhere else. I'm going to need to do a full review of Riviera. I am super, super impressed with every part of Riviera. Inside, outside, I had a chance to stay there Obviously, before everything closed, I was live from there for a couple days. I really, really like that resort a lot. I actually stayed. It was my son's birthday yesterday. He's 15. God help me. We stayed at Pop Century. We took the Skyliner over and just had such a lovely evening. Becky Menken says it's the best character meal on property, which is saying a lot coming from Becky Menken from MEI Mouse Fan Travel, because normally character meals involve children. Children and Becky Menken don't always get along, but the social distancing works. But I think the way that they do the character meal there, Becky, is right. I think the breakfast offerings are not just, I mean, yes, you can get sort of just, toasted eggs and bacon, but they also have a lot of unique, incredibly flavorful items on the menu. Howie says, is there a dress code at Topolino? So my family was worried about that before they went there. We went back to the room briefly before we went over to the restaurant. I was just in the same shorts and t-shirt that I had been in the parks. You don't need to get dressed up, but if you want to, it's perfectly appropriate as well. So you'll find a wide spectrum of people in terms of, I saw families and couples celebrating anniversaries dressed very nicely, like women in dresses, guys in pants with jackets and ties, and then you could also go in casually as well, which is why I like it so much. Crystal, you've never been before. When you come down, if only there was somebody that you could go with that has been there before, I'd be happy to join you. So, Kate, yes, that does mean my daughter's almost 17. Can we please not talk about that? We're having a really, really nice night tonight. Ryan Donahoe from the Forcecast says, hold on. Ronto Rep is 5th. Where do I file an official protest? Listen, Ryan, it made the list, which me and food, man. Like, that's a tough list to crack. And the Ronto Rap made it not once, but twice, because I had to go back and get a second one on a different day. But it's because that was so good. Becky says the quiche is awesome. Caleb Joshua Hill is 23 tomorrow. We'll make sure to all wish Caleb a happy birthday in the box group tomorrow. So Jeremy says, I had no idea that the Skyliner was that expansive because you've seen it from the Skyliner. So yeah, it can be a little deceiving just how large the resort is. Again, you can't see from this picture and I just can't manage it here. But to the left of where I'm standing, there is a second pool overlooking the water. There is an outdoor relaxation areas upstairs on the 11th floor where Topolino is. There's also a beautiful deck out there that you can grab a glass of wine or whatever and just sit out and relax. It is gorgeous, to say the least. Really, really like it. And the rooms are spectacular. If you go back, I posted photos both on my Instagram and did live, if anybody wants to find and link that up. Or if you go to the WDW Radio page on Facebook, click on live, you can go back and find past live broadcast there. Somebody asked, that's just taken on my iPhone. Like, that's just an iPhone 11 Pro. No special filters, no special software. It's just me taking pictures. And I am not a very good photographer, to say the least. Just FYI. You know who is a good photographer? Wait, I think I just saw him pop in. If you go to Colin Kendall's page at guide4wdw.com, this kid knows how to take pictures. He's got the fancy schmancy camera. More importantly, he's got a good eye for it. So go check out some of Colin's content as well as his photos, which you could buy from his store, by the way, too. Becky says we should review the Riviera as a whole. I agree wholeheartedly. Maybe what I should do is contact one of my friends from Mouse Fan Travel to get me the all available discounts and the best possible price, and I'll stay there for a couple days and then do a full review, so it really is kind of fresh in my mind. You see what I did there? You think she's going to go for it? Probably not, but it was worth a try anyway. So, yeah, I need to do a full review of the Riviera beyond what I did on the live stuff. And when it opened, I think I was there when it first opened for a media event. So, yeah, I love it, man. I like it there. Top 5 resorts in Walt Disney World overall. Add that to the list for... I don't think I've done top 5 resorts in Walt Disney World for a top 5 live. Would Riviera make that list? Would it make the cut? No, I did do it. Wait a minute. I take that back. Now that I say that, I think I actually did do a top 5 resorts. I'm going to take a quick look and see. I did top 5. Did I do top 5 resorts? No. But you know what? Oh, I did top 5 pools back on June 10th. So I am going to do top 5 resorts at some time very, very soon. I think Riviera is going to make the list. So, is Riviera a deluxe resort? So Riviera is like a moderate plus. Like it sits in this interesting space, much like Grandestino, where it's not quite a deluxe, but it is a deluxe, if you know what I mean. I actually like those resorts more than I like some of the deluxe resorts. So the categories are getting somewhat blurred, and I don't think that they necessarily represent which are the quote-unquote best of the best. Right? I think sometimes you don't have to spend the highest amount to have the best experience. Becky, I know, we will do it. I promise. That made me go on a Skyline and Progressive dinner. Colin, if you've never been to Topolino, what are you doing, man? Like, you got to get on there. If just for the photos and the rigatoni alone. If you don't get the rigatoni, there's plenty of other good options, but if you don't get the rigatoni, you're doing it wrong. If you go with a group of friends and maybe you're just not feeling pasta that night, and I don't know why you wouldn't because pasta is good every night, get one for the table to split. And then what you do is always don't let them take your bread. Keep the bread and the delicious extra virgin olive oil, but you keep the bread and then you dip it in the sauce from the rigatoni because, yeah, it's that good. I sort of had that as like my pre-dessert. When they wanted to take my plate away, I was like, dude, take my plate. I need more bread, yo. Like, keep it coming. So, body by pasta, body by carbohydrates. Top 10 places to hide from children, the special Becky list. I'm sure he could. Jason Knapp from Here with the Magic says Colin won't go with me. So Jason is from herewiththemagic.com, where you can go and find him every day, by the way, at noon. He does a Here with the Magic live on the Facebooks. If he won't go with you, I will. What we should do, Jason, listen, we should go together and send him pictures and selfies of us like having a good time. He'll get so jealous that he'll eventually come around. But it's a win-win for everybody, including and especially me, because you get to take me to Topolino Terrace. And I'm going to have the rigatoni. So, Anthony says, just listen to part 2 of the podcast on the history of Animal Kingdom. It was awesome. Thank you very much. Can I do a history of the other 3 parks? So, Anthony, if you go back through the archives, I've done a lot of Wayback Machines episodes, both in terms of specific lands, attractions. I've done specific years, which I'm going to do another one of those. I just have an idea for one of those coming up very soon. And 2, And 2, if for example, if you want to hear a history of the Magic Kingdom, you could actually go and get my audio tours where I take you. Each one is anywhere from an hour to 2 hour long through each of the lands, including Toontown. May you rest in peace. And by the way, they're all on sale right now for just $10. It is a great way, by the way, to not only feel like you and I are touring through the park, but you also, it's like I said, a little snapshot in history. Oh, by the way, speaking of thanks, I almost forgot to do this at the beginning because I did forget to do it. Huge thanks, by the way, to some of the new and longtime members of the Nation family. I sincerely appreciate you. Some of you have been members of the Nation going back to 2015. Some are just joining. Thank you guys so much, including the Whitsons, Quincy Julian, Pastor Stephen Grant. Oh, that's a typo. Pastor Stephen Grant, Joel Siegel, Tom Nolan, Kelly Watts, and Jeffrey Pierce. If you want to find out how you can not only help the show, but get rewards every month, including scavenger hunts, trivia quests, care packages. We have a private Facebook group and all that kind of stuff. You can find it at WDWNation.com. And it really is, it's a great way to help show your support for the show and keep the lights on, which is always nice. And keep me knee deep in the boathouse because I saw Chef Bob is in the house. I love me some Chef Bob. Listen, I was just talking about some of my favorite places to eat in Walt Disney World, and I will tell you that the boathouse got its own special place on the list. It couldn't even sit with everything else on the list. It got its own color. It got its own call out because my meals at the boathouse, I've been 3 times so far, but each one has been better than the last, including with some friends who were here. I know Jason was there. Zach Brown from the Zach Brown Show was in there. So always love me some Boathouse. So can't wait to see you again. Chef Bob is not only a remarkable, brilliant chef, but he's a really good guy too. So, and like now, especially now that we've sort of broken out of this little bit of a heat wave, you sit outside, dockside bar, everybody's distanced, you're by the water, you got the boats there, you time it just right, you get the sunset with the characters in flight balloon going overhead, a little bit of amphicar action happening. That's a good evening right there. Whether you go solo, whether you bring a friend, your family, a date, your buddies, girls' night out, go with me. The tuna at the boathouse, I think it's my death row meal, says Corinne. I agree with you. And if you're a tuna fan, you can get the coriander seared tuna as an entree, which is one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. But you can also get the tuna poke appetizer with, I don't know what Chef Bob does in that kitchen back there, but I could just eat that all day, every day. And now I think I need to come in for lunch because it's that good. Crystal, good seeing you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Derek can't wait for his first boathouse experience in 18 days. You're going to love it. Tell him Lou sent you. So, you see, even Bob said, tell him Lou sent you. Wait, where it is. Jeff C., good to see you, buddy. Jeff, you're never late, man. It's the door is always open. You're always welcome. And I miss you, brother. I hope to see you again soon. Melanie Jones says, poke is the bomb. Everything is good. Even Chef Bob says, people that don't love the sushi love the tuna. So you don't even have to, if you say, I'm not really a raw fish kind of guy or gal, trust me. Even Mark Jones says, the tuna poke is amazing. I do not disagree. I literally just ate dinner and I'm hungry again. And I don't know how, Chef Bob, you're able to do that. But maybe over the next few days, I got to come in for a little lunch. Just to check in, say hi. John Goldsworthy says, poutine, appetizer, boathouse for dinner, and gelato for dessert. So I would actually do poutine for lunch. I would do boathouse for dinner. And you know what? So it used to be that you would go, you get the baked Alaska. It was great for Instagram and photos and fun. You can share it with like 8 people. It says it's for 4. It's really for 8. Go in and try the new chocolate cake. Even if you're not a chocolate cake fan, you're going to love the chocolate cake because it's dark and rich and dense. You get a nice cup of coffee, or like even if you still got your little or big glass of red wine, that chocolate cake is a nice that's a nice little treat. We were there right after the park opened. Me, my family. I don't know if Lisa Glassner is here. She was there. Jason Knapp was here. Kenneth Johnson was there. Zach Brown was there. Chef came over and sat with us. But man, we had a really, really nice evening. So, so we don't let me know. Sorry, Chef Bob, I guess, is responding to a question about top 5 boathouse meals needs to be a live show. So, Chef Bob, what do you think about that? Top 5 thing. Wait a minute. I'll come in on a Wednesday night and live, and I'll let Chef Bob bring out what he thinks are the top 5. This is a no-lose night. The top 5. I'm salivating. The top 5 things to order at the boathouse. Chef Bob, I need the tuna, just so you know. The tuna has to be on there. Tuna, the sliders, the grouper right now is really, really good. The seafood tower, fish tacos are really good. Even the crab and avocado appetizer. Again, the steak. The top 5 is going to be more like a top 15, but maybe we'll let Chef Bob select his top 5. This is going to be the best day of my whole life. The top 5 live from the Boathouse. Best chocolate cake ever with ice cream and sprinkles. Look, I'm not a big sweets guy, but I dug that. That's a nice way to cap off an evening. So that sounds like a great. See, Jenny Ginsburg thinks it's a good idea. Kate Wallace thinks it. Here we go. We will do our top 5 sellers. Bob, the tuna has to be one of the top 5 sellers, even if it's not. Make it one of the top 5 sellers because I'm coming in for the tuna hard. The lobster roll, sliders. Those sliders, those little filet sliders, like the meat just sort of falls apart, and you literally don't have to chew it. It's gross, but you can literally just sit there and just feel the meat melting in your mouth. So, the crab cake, shrimp boil. All right, swap out the shrimp boil for the tuna. I won't tell anybody. It's so good. Becky Menken says, Chef Bob, can we please have the blueberry dessert back? Even Lou loved it. Chef Bob knows, again, huge fan of the blueberry crumb cake for dessert. It has to come. Steak and fries. Oh, my God. If only there was somebody. I'm kidding. Maybe that's what we'll do, Chef. We'll talk. We'll pick a night. We'll tell people, and some friends can make reservations too, and we'll sort of get a little spot in the corner somewhere and just go to town. So Jeremy Goff said, I would gladly come down to Florida right now if I could quarantine in the Boathouse. I'd be quiet. I promise. The Gibson Burger. I think, Bob, I don't think I've had the Gibson's Burger since the very first time I've been there. Because you told me just how good it was. Remember that first time I was there? We sat in the boat and just so crazy amounts of food. So, Lisa No Glass says, Becky, we had the blueberry lemonade. That's good enough. Listen, however you need to get your fruit, ladies, that's it. You prefer to get it via the lemonade with it's got the cute little rubber ducky. I prefer to get it with the blueberry crumbs on top because, oy vey, that's just, that's so good. Kenyon says, Chef Bob, how big is the menu? Kenyon, you could go there and not have the same, you could go there like a lot. It's physically and in terms of content, there's a lot. It's like, remember this is a Jersey thing. Remember like going, like to Greek diners in New Jersey, and there'd be like 17 pages of different menu items. That's sort of like the Boathouse. And you don't have to be a seafood person because remember, it is a Gibson's restaurant. So the steaks, they're nice, like really nice. That would be a 3-hour long show too. And I'm totally fine with that. The night we were there with friends, we were there a long time. And, that's one thing about the Boathouse. You never feel rushed. You're made to feel like you're part of family. So Bob says there's 35 items plus the specials. And plus the specials and however many different types of oysters. If you've never had oysters or if you have, there's 2 words you need to know. Lucky ducks, because they are so, so good. Colin Kendall from God for WDW says, it's a very good menu. Great array of price points. I dig. Chef Bob says it's triple a Disney menu. So there you go. Matthew Woolley, Jersey Diners. Oh my God, the TikTok diner. Holy cow. And it's funny because the diners like in North Jersey were different than the diners like in Central and South Jersey. It's very much a Northeast thing. It's one of the things I miss late night diner runs. Like after you go to Hunka Bunka Ball at like 3 o'clock in the morning, you hit the diner on the way home for, they used to call them disco fries. It's Jersey's version of poutine. Steak fries with gravy and cheese on top. Paramus diners were your jam. Corinne, I didn't know you were from Paramus. Route 4, Route 17, that intersection there, like by like not far from the Meadowlands. A lot of diners up there. A lot of good diners up there. So, top 5 things heard from the Boathouse when Lou walks in. Fire up the spare oven, make more rolls, call the fleet, we need more tuna. Oh my God, he's wearing stretchy pants. Look, the Boathouse is just happy when I'm wearing pants, period. Stretchy or otherwise. So, A 17-page dinner. Yeah. So, Matthew, you get it, right? Disco fries. I miss the... Chef Bob, have a good night, buddy. When you go to Boathouse, tell him Lou sent you and ask for Chef Bob. He is a good man and a heck of a good chef as well. So, Top Steiner in New York. Oh, so you're from New York, right over the border. The Edison Diner, Sherman's Diner in South Plainfield, New Jersey. We could be hitting, so now I see, Lisa in her glasshouse, we could be hitting the Wave or Sanaa late night on the regular. I'm just saying. I know, if only somebody would have suggested we go there tonight for a show, we could have been live. You stop screaming at your phone or your laptop, I know, but maybe next week. Maybe next week we'll hit Sanaa, or maybe we'll go after the show. Like we'll do a show at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then we'll go to Sanaa after. That might be the play right there. Late night lounge, little bit or a lot of bit of bread service for research purposes alone, just to make sure everything is fine. Tacey Atkinson, you never apologize for being late. I am just happy that you're here. So, Chef Bob, I will talk to you about making plans. We're going to go live from there too. Jim Rohowski's going to the Wave this Sunday morning. Wave is good stuff. Wave has been consistently good. The last few times that we went there, we did the lunch review on show 5, remember? And then we were there last Thursday, Friday. I don't even know. The days, whatever. Becky, how does that mean? I'm doing it for you because I understand that you can't get here. I want to bring you there with me. So I don't want to go to Sanaa for bread service, late night bread service and cocktails and stuff. I'm going to bring that experience to you. So, Ryan Dono, how have you not been to the Boathouse? Dude, when we're getting together for lunch next week, whatever it is, we should go to the Boathouse for lunch. Yay. Yeah. Good. God, I need to go on a diet. Because when this quarantine's over and I have to actually start going out in public again, this can't happen. I'm not even happy with the angle of the camera tonight because it's going a little bit too far down for me. So, but Ryan, man, you want to go to the Boathouse when we have our business meeting over lunch? We can certainly do that. So, again, I don't have a graphic for Ryan, but Ryan is from ForceCast.net. We've done a couple of shows together, but if you're a Star Wars nerd, and really who's not, you need to go and check it out. And Lisa Denoro Glassner is from thecastlerun.com, and she also has her core memory candles too. So if you can't get to Walt Disney World, but you want your house to smell like it, go to corememorycandles.com. There you go. A diet is not a word in my vocabulary. Colin, I'm trying to think of it as just being in shape to be able to waddle my way through the parks on a consistent basis. I'm winded by the time I got to the Tree of Life, I needed a snack. That's how exhausted I was when I went yesterday. So, Curtis says the more live shows, the better. I will tell you, I really, really missed. I realized last week just how much I missed going live from the parks. That filled my soul. It filled my cup getting to see you and do that again. So Michael Nip says the Forcecast is the best Star Wars podcast there is. I don't make the news. I just read it, but I don't disagree. There's a lot of really good podcasts out there. Coffee with Kenobi, if you're listening. I love Dan Zier as well. Everybody's friends on that side too. So Ryan says, hey, thanks, random guy. Can we not want to ride Flight of Passage first? Then we could not want to be at Animal Kingdom. Oh, you're not even talking to me. I saw a Flight of Passage. I'm like, ooh, I'd love to do that too. When is the next live show? So Erica, definitely every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if I will be back in the parks this weekend. I'm hoping to get back in next week at some point. But stay tuned. Turn on notifications. That is definitely the best way to do it. Again, make sure you're part of the community and conversation, and you turn on notifications, not just on the Facebook group, but on the Facebook page, because sometimes you never know when and where I might be going live from. So there's a couple of things on my list that I want to go and do very, very soon, because I miss being back in the parks and in the resorts. So, but I definitely want to hear from you guys. I definitely want to hear what your thoughts are in terms of my top 5 live from tonight. I will post this graphic on the Box People group. I'll probably share it on Instagram as well. Let me know what either the best thing is that you've eaten, or let me know what the thing is that you're looking forward to eating most. There's no wrong answer, by the way. It doesn't matter what it is. Because I'll tell you, if you have not had a chance to be back to the parks yet, and I think maybe we'll do even a podcast about it. I wanted to give it a little bit of time, give it a couple of weeks, let this sort of excitement and emotion settle in a little bit, and then really be able to take a look at what it's been like going back to the parks, what it's been like to be back at the resorts from a guest perspective, from Disney's perspective, from a lot of different things, especially for those of you who are thinking about doing it and coming back. Again, I'm plugging away because you should understand the importance of using a travel agent. And of course, I recommend, and I use, mousefantravel.com. Now is the time to start thinking about coming back. And I'm telling you, if not only from a sense of confidence and safety and security, but the parks are empty. Like, there is not a lot of people at the parks at all. If you've been watching live, I want you to make judgment on your own. Go back and see some of the live broadcasts, because one of the things I love about live is it's unfiltered, it's unedited, it's unaltered. You see exactly what's happening with no sort of, through no lens, through no filter, right? It's happening, completely authentically, so you can see. But like, when I say that I walked on, I'll post a picture of it tomorrow. When I say that I walked on to Flight of Passage, I mean the wait time, quote unquote, is the time that it took me to get into the queue to get out of the queue, because there were areas where there was not another soul in the queue for Flight of Passage. Let that sink in. It was no special event. It was like, I've been to events. I've been to after hours. I've been to media events, and there was more people there. Even yesterday in the afternoon, it was a 5-minute wait for Flight of Passage. So again, making a lemonade of lemons in this time when I understand, maybe not everybody's ready to come back or can get a reservation to come back. The parks, you sort of have them to yourself. And as a local, I kind of dig that, but there are definitely reasons you should be coming back. And to quote the Sherman Brothers, now is the best time to be coming back to Walt Disney World. So Isaac Johnson, it is a dream. Like, I think the longest I waited for an attraction since the parks have been reopened was maybe 20 minutes for Mine Train. And that might be a lot. 20 minutes for Mine Train. Yesterday we waited like 15 for Navi River Journey. We got to Runaway Railway first thing in the morning. We walked on. So the park so I don't know if this happens every day. If you go back to my live, you'll see that what they're doing is they queue you at the attractions when the doors open at 9, and then as the park opens at 10, that's where you start from. We were boarding Runaway Railway at 9:30. They're like, come on. It was no wait. I mean, there was really no wait throughout the day for that. We walked on to Slinky Dog with maybe a 10, 15-minute wait. So, and obviously for Rise of Resistance, there's the 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. boarding groups. Those still do go fast. They still go probably within a minute and a half. But because you can only get one boarding group per person per day, if you miss the first one, you miss the second one, you still have a great opportunity to get it on the third. I haven't talked to anybody yet that says I was there all day and could not get a boarding group. So I think the system that they have in place right now really, really seems to be working. Kenyon, can people buy new annual passes yet? I do not believe so, although I expect that to probably change. I don't want to say soon. I would expect annual passes to start going on sale again at some point. Terry Simpson Doherty says we walked on almost everything today at Magic Kingdom, and that seems to be the norm, right? Mine Train at 20 minutes is insane. It's insane and it's awesome. Becky shamelessly plugging says there's no fees for our service. It helps to support It keeps Lou. Wait, I didn't even read that part. I wouldn't have put this graphic up if it keeps Lou in bread service and Boathouse stops. Whatever works. And that's true. Every part of it. So Beatrice says she's going to Hollywood Studios tomorrow. Brian's excited to ride Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Just such a fun attraction, and that song definitely does get stuck in your head. Not in a bad way, but in a good kind of way. How far in advance do you have to make a park reservation? So Heather, it depends, right? If you are an annual pass holder, if you're a Disney Vacation Club member, or if you're staying at a resort, there are 3 sort of different buckets of availability. So depending on where you fit in. So I will tell you, look, I was able to, for my son's birthday, I made a reservation at a resort last week for last night and was able to get into Disney's Animal Kingdom no problem. So, if you really can't get in and you're able to do it, we were able to get into a value resort for not a lot of money. You can still apply like Florida resident rates, things like that. And then that'll open up potentially some additional availability for you. But again, go to Mouse Fan Travel. They'll help you navigate all of that and any of the intricacies therein. So Ryan says, I've gone to Epcot, Magic, and Animal Kingdoms. Never waited more than 20 minutes. Again, it's the advantage. Even the food and wine, Flower and Garden, whatever it's called, Wine and Dine, whatever the festival is that's going on right now, the Taste of Epcot Food and Wine Festival that's going on right now. I didn't wait more than 5 minutes, if that. There was maybe 1 or 2 people, and that was on opening day. So imagine what opening days are normally like versus what it's like now. Kurt Nank says Rise Resistance was incredible. I almost did tonight my top 5 attractions that I almost forgot how good they were. And man, oh man, Rise of Resistance and Flight of Passage. I've ridden Flight of Passage probably 4 times in the past week because you can walk on. It's worth waiting for. It is such a remarkably good, still takes my breath away attraction. I notice things that I haven't noticed before. Because you can take that attraction in with a lot of different perspectives. You listen, what you see, what you smell, right? You wear your mask, but there was a couple times you can smell through the mask a little bit, but I pulled it down just because I wanted to smell the inside of the cave. I wanted to smell the dirt as you're sort of flying low over, some of those bison-like animals. I wanted to smell the water. It's just going back to the show that we did last week in terms of the one with Walt. If you hadn't had a chance to listen to that, part 1 and part 2, that's why Flight of Passage is such an easy answer, because I think Walt would just be blown away by what he would see and hear and feel on that attraction. Katie says, I cried on Flight of Passage. It was look, Katie, I am totally cool with admitting I cried the first time I rode it. Again, I'm a crier, and that's fine, but without a doubt, and I even found myself choked up this past weekend. Because of how it was making me feel, and I could hear my kids next to me, and they're 15 and 16, right? But I heard them there was one of them, I don't know which one, but I heard this audible gasp, and I heard them laughing, and I sort of looked over a couple times and just saw this open mouth, wide grin on their faces. And like, that's it, right? That's the reason why we go. I mean, we go for that. We stay for Satuli Canteen and Nomad Lounge and Tiffin's, but that's the real reason why we go. So, I hate to say it because it's such an easy answer, but it is. It's hard not to. And even whether it's Flight of Passage or Rise of Resistance, you could argue, well, Walt doesn't know Avatar, he doesn't know Star Wars. You don't have to, right? Look, I will tell you admittedly, I cannot tell you the name of a single character in Avatar. And that's not intentional. Like, I've seen the movie a few times. Like, I know Ripley from Aliens is in there, and Giovanni Ribisi is in there. I don't know what his character's name is. I just like him as an actor. But even like the main dude and the Zoe Saldana, the blue Gamora lady, I have no idea. And you don't have to. And I think that's part of what makes that attraction so powerful, is you don't have to have, like Star Wars. Like, if you have an emotional connection to the films, Ryan, I'm looking at you. If you have an emotional connection to the films, that attraction means more. Not a lot of people that I personally know have a necessary attraction to the Avatar films. I don't mean Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is not a good film, but even the Avatar film itself still can love that Jake Sully. Okay, so now, Chris, that you say Jake Sully, I'm like, oh, I think the guy's name might have been Jake. He was the big blue guy, right? There was the guy in the wheelchair and the blue guy with the other blue guy, and then there was the bad red dragon and Zoe's and the Gamora, and the mean guy in the big suit with the short white hair. That's it. I don't know what Colin Kendall is talking about, but something about seeing me golf. Whatever that idea is, I'm telling you, you don't want to see me. Oh, doing a show on Disney golf courses. I can listen. Mini golf, I'm your guy. If it's got a windmill, if it's got a big sort of mouth that opens and closes, Winter Summerland is my jam. One of these days, I'm going to resurrect an idea that I had years ago. Like, I had it all mapped out. I had it booked at one point. I'm going to resurrect that. When we're able to start getting together again, I'm going to resurrect an idea for something. And you may get to see me golf after all. So you can enjoy films without remembering all the names. Dan, I agree with you. Like, I enjoy Avatar. I think it's nice. If it's on, I'll pop it on, especially like, seeing it on a nice TV in 4K. It's a beautiful film, but it's not the reason why I love Avatar, right? It's like Star Wars. Like, I know the characters, so there's a connection to it. You don't need to. The mean guy in the mech suit, that guy, that's the one. So Ryan says, I have an emotional connection to Rise of Resistance because he got to watch it get accosted by the First Order. Ryan, how about when we were able to get up on the second level stage up there and broadcast from up there? When I was there the other day, I was like, we got to stand up there. How cool was that? Yeah, foot golf, Matthew Woolley. Like, it's another sport that I'm just really bad at. I'm just bad at all sports. The only thing, like, I couldn't, yeah. Like, I took martial arts for years, but it's fine because it's an individual, like, there's nobody else relying on you to potentially screw. Little League was very difficult for me. But there's nobody else. Basketball in high school, did not make a lot of friends being, like, because I was the last guy, like, you choosing teams. Hey, I'm stuck with Mangello. Can't make a basket to save my life. Like, even Shaq would look at me and go, hey, man, you can't make a basket. Like, really, really, really bad. But whatever. We'll see. We'll see. I still have my idea for something else completely all mapped out. So we'll have to do it. So baseball been very, very good to me, says Lonnie Bias. I mean, you didn't say that, but that's what maybe. There's a reference that not many of you are going to get. Baseball been very, very good to me. Where's that from, Becky Mankin? Becky says, I can't look at that stage without thinking about that. It was fun hanging with Ryan that day too. one, one macadamia. That guy was insane. That guy was insane. So, um, Tina and Jenny just popping in. It is nice to see you. Pamela Bart getting the Saturday Night Live reference. Very nice. Very, very nice. See, Beatrice Dennis, we're the same way. So she likes to ride in the golf cart and take photos. Brian could help me teach. I don't want to. Look, I don't want to. I like Brian, and I want Brian to continue to like me. Him trying to teach me golf is not a way to solidify our friendship, because Garrett Morris, Saturday Night Live, Garrett Morris, who, by the way, here you go. Here's a go with me here, obscure reference. In the Ant-Man movie, there was a cameo by Garrett Morris from Saturday Night Live. You're like, why? What's the deal? Why isn't it not ready for primetime player from 1977 in Ant-Man movie? I'm going to tell you why. Because Garrett Morris played Ant-Man technically for the first time ever on screen in a parody sketch that they did on Saturday Night Live, and they were both superheroes from Marvel and DC, which never would happen. But one of the superheroes was having like a cocktail party, and like John Belushi was the Hulk, and Garrett Morris was Ant-Man. So there you go. So that's why Garrett Morris was in. He's the guy in the car when Ant-Man lands on a roof and crushes it, and he sort of just looks up. That's why Garrett Morris is there. See that? More useless knowledge that you can only get here. So, Becky, don't be mean to me. You don't want to see, you do not want to see me play golf. I promise. Candygram, Landshark. The old Saturday Night Live's so good. I cried when John Belushi died. Whatever. Gasp? That's a good trivia question. So I'll have to put that. So maybe I'll ask that question on one of my daily Disney trivias. Which, by the way, look at that. Which, by the way, if you like playing trivia on the show, be sure to go to my Instagram stories. It's daily. Every now and then I'll miss one just because life gets in the way. But if you go to Instagram.com/Lou Mongello, you can join me for daily Disney trivia there. And spread the word. Tell a friend. So, see the ball. Be the ball. Danny, be the ball. No. It's Caddyshack. Come on, Louis. You can't get me a Caddyshack. No. Listen, I appreciate the offer of lessons. I don't want to frustrate anybody with that. When will Splash Mountain begin its refurb? We don't know yet. Did I share my bit? Where was I? I just did somebody's. Was it somebody else's show? Was it this show where I gave? Okay. I don't remember where it was. If it was here, I'm going to apologize. Okay. So go with me here. Splash Mountain was given its name. Why? Because Michael Eisner wanted it. They wanted the attraction to be named after the film starring Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. It was Tony Baxter who's like, I get that, Michael, but what if we just call it Splash Mountain and we theme it after this story with cute little rabbits and great music like Zippity Doo Dah? Okay, nice compromise. If you happen to fire up your Disney Plus, you will find said movie, Splash, not Song of the South, you'll find Splash there. When Tom Hanks, who stars, by the way, alongside John Candy, who I also cried when he died, go with me here, when Tom Hanks meets Daryl Hannah for the second time, spoiler alert, and brings her back to his apartment, Tom Hanks has to go to work and then returns from work that day. As he steps off the elevator, what song is Tom Hanks singing? He's singing Zippity Doo Dah from Song of the South. This was pre-Splash Mountain, pre any of those things, but look at how the worlds come together. Splash Mountain, Splash the movie. There you go. Tom Hanks singing Zippity Doo Dah, not once but twice in the movie Splash, upon which the attraction was named for. There you go. Did you get all that? There you go. Oh, I discussed it on this week's episode. I knew I talked about it somewhere. But it's nice to know somebody listens to the show. So there you go. But Splash, you know what? Still holds up over time. Eugene Levy, love that guy. Like, I want to have dinner with Eugene Levy. Yeah, so I apologize. I knew I said it somewhere. I knew I mentioned. Poor Mike Sizemore just can't catch a break on Mike Sizemore. I'll pull an easy one for you tomorrow because I want you to feel good about yourself. It is not meant to. It is not meant to frustrate you. It is meant to educate you and bring you some fun somewhere. So it's just me and the Moron Twins. We're not twins. So good. Yeah, I knew I talked about it somewhere. So when you get old like me, the brain, everything just starts to go. So is the wait for the gift shop still 2 hours? I don't believe so, because all the knuckleheads have already bought all the Splash Mountain plush and are now stuck with it because they can't sell it on eBay because they saturate their own market. I don't, whatever, but anyway, so there you go. So there is your bit of additional useless trivia for this week. There's also been our top 5 things I've eaten since Walt Disney World reopened. I am going to share that again in the Box People group on Facebook. I would love to hear what's the best thing that you've eaten since you've been back, or the first thing that you want to eat when you come back. Speaking of this week's show, be sure and tune in for listener emails with the one, the only, the incomparable Becky Mankin from MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Lots of fun talking about brunch, books, bars. Becky talks about bars a lot, some bygone days and more. And yes, you can tell from the graphic here that Geyser Point actually makes the list for multiple reasons. If there was only somebody that would want to go and have lunch with me at Geyser Point in the next week or so, I need to, anybody, whatever. Anyway, thanks again to everybody who is a new and longtime member of the Nation family. I sincerely appreciate you. Be sure and go and check out some of my friends who are here tonight. You're all my friends, but of course, if you're thinking about coming to World, or when land opens, or when cruising again happens, or anywhere, go and visit mousefantravel.com. Go get your candles over at corememorycandles.com. Go check out Colin at Guide for WDW. And Jason is over at, herewiththemagic.com. If I missed somebody while you're in here, I sincerely apologize. Again, if you want to find out more about our Marvel Day at Sea cruise, I'm telling you, the ship's going to be empty. And nobody has more fun than we do. Come and go get a free no obligation quote. Couple things. If you want to find out how you can help the show, it's simple. Help spread the word by sharing, commenting, and inviting your friends to be part of this incredible community that you have helped to create. Come join the WDW Radio Nation. You can do it for as little as $1 a month. And don't forget that a portion of your contribution, which is optional, does go to our Dream Team project to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of America. And if there's some way that I can help you, please go to LouMangello.com. What else? What am I forgetting? I don't know. There's probably a lot of stuff I'm forgetting. That's what happens when you get to be my age. But I'm looking to see. I'm sure there's some other graphics that I'm missing. But again, please don't forget, subscribe, share, join the community and conversation. I sincerely appreciate it. You guys have done an amazing job building this clubhouse and creating a place that I continually hear from people is really, it is really someplace very, very special. So I am grateful to you. I am grateful for you. If there's some way that I can help you, please let me know. Stay tuned. I'll obviously be back next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Spread the word, invite a friend, and thank you again for being here tonight. for listening to the show, for spreading the word about the podcast, being part of the community, and for all the time that we got to spend in the parks this past week. It has been good to be back, and it was even better because you were there. So I love you. I appreciate you. If I can help you, please let me know. So until next time, see ya.